Shut up.
What do I need this lighter for?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTubers, Facebookians. Welcome to another edition of Living Simply Fun. I want to ask Aaron for a second to explain my method at the end of my videos.
Yes. One of our watchers, I don't know if they're a subscriber or not.
Dog, yes,
Oh, it was Cigar Dog?
Yes.
Well, it doesn't matter. Yes, it was Cigar Dog. They said, why are we stealing from Desert Smoke Reviews? The guys over at Desert Smoke Reviews, Justin, Wyatt, Monty, we consider them friends of ours. They've motivated us in the past. They've helped us along. You know, it's kind of a tribute to them at the end. It's more than any other cigar reviewer's ever done for us. In fact,
Bless myself.
according to some, it seems that they rather just not see our videos, but we make them anyways. And honestly, that's because Desert Smoke at one point told us that who cares what people think, just do what you enjoy. And just keep making the videos. We like watching your videos. So we keep doing it. Even with negativity. So that's just a tribute to them. It's like a thank you at the end of all of our shows.
I thought you subscribers like watching me, the freak show. Come on, you say I'm not humorous, well I threw that in there.
And we were also told that we're bland and boring cigar reviewers. I think that we're actually worse at cigar reviewing than kind of portraying a little bit of humor as we do it. I think we're somewhat more entertaining than some of them out there. I've seen some really boring cigar reviewers. All I can
say is this seriously smells like a pile of weed.
So we will be reviewing the Diesel Unholy Cocktail.
Is this a Maduro or a...
Oh, I would assume that because this is a very, very dark leaf, it's a Maduro, a Scuro, something of that nature. Of course, we don't do any checking because we don't want to go off of what other people say.
Here.
Yes. Why?
Just take care of my wrapper.
I'm
going into my office for a second with something I need to check on.
So, anyways, as you can see the seams in it. You can see there's some stems in there. You know, right there, but they seem to be incorporated rather well, the steam into the seam, so that's not too bad. There are a minor like crack or two. This is kind of gritty feeling, a little oily too.
I'll check it out. So it just says the size, 5.56, by the way. Well, I looked it up on the computer real quick. Share that with them.
This has kind of got a chocolatey scent to it.
Actually, it doesn't smell like weed, more like a hay bomb. But
hay and chocolate is what I would say.
So
it doesn't tell you right here unless I found the
I'm saying share the bundle we got.
Oh, yeah, we got the Diesel mother load. So it gave us a good chance to sample pretty much all the diesels on the market.
I'm looking it up for us now.
So anyways, I smell chocolate and hay in this. It's rather mild scented. And I don't know why you threw your cigar at me.
The wrapper.
The wrapper.
Trying to save it. Diesel, what was this one? The Diesel Unlimited?
Actually, it's glued straight too, so don't worry about it.
Oh, the Unholy Cocktail.
Yes, the Unholy Cocktail.
As soon as this one doesn't have it, it must be a cigar exclusive somewhere else. Unholy Cocktail.
It's the Belicosa for the regular Diesel. So, it's related to the Diesel Shorty too. Okay, so this is the Diesel Unholy Cocktail.
Belicosa, which is 5x56.
And that's always confused me. So the Belicosa is called an Unholy Cocktail, and the Shorty or the Gordo is called, well, the Gordo is called the Shorty, but everything else is standard cigar sizes with no names. Here you go.
Well, it's $7 a stick.
So it's like what Ave Maria does. And I forgot the term for that, but
thank you.
Yes, I'd like to
So
get
I'm
to smoking
picking up
this.
some hay and it might be some chocolate, but I don't know if it's baker's chocolate or...
It's sweeter smelling. It's not the bitter chocolate smell, so it's more like a nice Swiss milk chocolate.
Yes, milk chocolate. Time to toast the ends and to get things going.
Now, we've actually tried this before because we have had a diesel Shorty. The Shorty was included in the Fat Camp sampler we got back last summer, and we did do reviews of that, I think, on my channel, but not on Rita's channel.
I wanted to say, for the record, there's a new Fat Camp sampler called the AJ Fernandez one, so it looks really mighty tasty, but I don't think me smoking a Obsidian, I think it is good for me. Please excuse Mr. Barkey. He's likes to be in the videos to make noise, and then he gets punished because he's well,
anyways,
he doesn't like cigar smoke. There you have it.
Anti-smoker. As I'd say about this, the first hit would be what some would classify as pepper, but I don't think it was so much pepper as just kind of very potent hay taste. Oh, you tore your book.
It's alright, I can get another one. Yeah, I'm just tasting this for a second. This isn't bad. Hopefully it tastes pretty good without a full stomach, because I have half a full, my stomach's half filled with soup, so...
I'd definitely say that pepper hit's still gone, but it's lingering for a while. So I guess this might be what some would call a pepper bomb from the first 2 or 3 puffs, but
I don't think it's a pepper bomb. I think it's a tasty-go-lucky.
Knowing that I actually love pepper a lot, in fact, I always have pepper near me. I don't know why. But I like fresh ground black pepper a lot. So this really doesn't taste like pepper. It just kind of burns like pepper. It's a very full flavor. And I like that for the most part. I would say this kind of tastes like a wine, though. Mildly fruity, hints of currant. I
would have to agree, it is kind of fruity, but I don't agree with being currant. I believe it would be more like a
well, it tastes,
a date or a prune.
Well, it reminds me of being like a Cabernet, and a lot of Cabernets taste like red currant.
Here we go, that's what I was thinking of. The AJ Fernandez Fat Camp sampler. I thought about trying it. It comes with
and
La Herencia Cubana, La Pearl Habana, Diesels, Man of Wars, and Ave Marias. Now, the Ave Marias I've tried. They're really a good smoky, so... But this is not bad at all.
I would say that the flavors are very similar to a Cabernet. In fact, this would probably go very well with a Cabernet so far. The burn looks like it's going to be a good long burn. We started at 240.
I was going to say something, but since he won't let me finish, what I was going to say is, for all of you out there, I got your answer. Do not smoke a Diesel Maduro D5 unless you have a full stomach.
Anyways, we will get back to you in the middle half of this cigar and not take up too much of your precious time.
Welcome back to the halfway point. I'm reading. This is Aaron.
We are at the halfway point at 47 minutes. So far, the smoke is, to me, very much like a Cabernet Sauvignon in flavor. It's actually better than trying to say woodsy or smoky or any of that stuff. is the flavors are very hard to distinguish separately from each other. And to me, it's kind of, well, that kind of stoutness. The pepper's gone though, which has kind of mellowed it out, which makes it more like a Merlot. It's a little on the sweeter side now, but it's a very winey cigar, as far as I can tell. It's the type of cigar that Whiny Jacques would like. If anybody gets the reference from The Critic.
I have to agree with him. It is a winey flavor. It's very good, and in my opinion, this is a full-bodied cigar.
I would say it started as full body and went down to medium to full body. And the flavors, they're kind of medium. They're just around the center line. Not too impressive, not too bland, and interesting enough to hold my attention and make this so far a decent cigar. I can't knock this cigar yet at all. It's very decent. What did you say the price per stick was?
$7. $7.50, yeah, something like that. So,
based on that, so far so good. Well, I think the best we can do is get back to you in the final third here.
I do want to say, your question for you today, and I will ask at the end again, is when you're thinking about purchasing cigars, do you watch cigar reviews before you go out and purchase those cigars?
Or do you watch them after you've smoked them to see what other people say about them, to see if your cigar just happened to be a bad one or not, or is this how they're supposed to be? I really don't know. Or do you just watch them to kill time? It doesn't really matter what they're about.
Yep. So there you have it. Please ask, and we will see you in the final third. Welcome back to the final third of the cigar we're smoking, the Diesel Unholy Cocktail, 5.56. Take it away, Aaron.
Well, I'd say that there's more spice in it now, less of that wine flavor that's been there. Maybe the peppers returned a bit too. Still a very pleasant cigar. The burn has been phenomenal. I don't think I've fixed it all.
I did some light fixing, but throughout my videos and cigar reviewing with Aaron, which he claims I'm the cigar sidekick.
Well, what I was saying to her is that I kind of think that I'm more attuned to the flavors and how to explain them and give a better sort of review, but she's kind of the comedic side.
Well, I do want to say...
The comedic relief, as one would say.
Well, I must be the retard in the family because...
I wouldn't say that.
Well, I must be the sidekick retard if I don't know the flavors. But this cigar, in my opinion, is a full-bodied cigar, and I'm picking up spices. I'm picking up a light hint of cedar, and I'm picking up a little bit of a light pepper. But I do want to say that a lot of people out there that do send messages or emails, they basically say something that I must have a problem with my palate, because a lot of times I review cigars and I say things like, it smells like earth and hay, or malt and barley.
I heard somebody review a cigar today who said that it smelled like curry. I've never smelled a cigar that smells like curry. I love curry.
Of course you do. You make curry-flavored ramen. Go figure.
But I really have smelled so many cigars, I don't think that it would be complimentary to smell like curry. But, anyways, to each their own. That's one thing that makes cigar reviews so good, is that almost everybody's is slightly different for everything, because each person's got a different palate.
That's what I've said. But I've also said to you, Aaron, when it comes to cigars, and we've reviewed many in our time, paper and doing reviews on camera, that We also talk about, at times, like today, we were talking, and sometimes we, let me see if we have it. Sometimes we use our Gurkha cutter here.
We use that only for torpedoes, though.
But we usually use a hole punch, where some people use the V cutters and other cutters. I prefer a hole punch.
I've actually seen some, like, Chinese star one that ends up putting like 6 slits in it or something along the edges. I'd like to try that sometime too.
The Shuriken cutter.
Yeah, that's
by
it.
CI.
But I still prefer the hole punch. I like a narrow opening. Even when I'm cutting these, I try to cut it so it's narrow, and I've seen people cut them almost all the way up here where my fingers currently are.
Exactly.
And I try to burn down to where my fingers are.
And when I see people cut it, sometimes I see people that cut it like with something like this, and then they complain, oh, well, the wrapper's coming off in the end. That's why we prefer a hole punch.
And another thing we've noticed in other cigar reviews today while watching them is somebody will take like a Robusto or a Churchill and they hit the halfway point and they're like, well, I'm 20 minutes in. We're right now at an hour and 30 minutes in. And we're almost done. 20 minutes? In fact, we haven't checked this one up, but I'm sure there's some that have hit the center part by 20. There are power puffers out there, and they do reviews too, and that's cool, but we're slow burners. We like to really try to get our money's worth out of it, make them last. We're not in it for a rush cigar. So one thing we always look at is how long did it take to burn. And if we're slow puffers and it takes us only 40 minutes to smoke a cigar, a power puffer will have that done in like 20 minutes or less. And that's totally a waste of money if you're paying like $8 a stick.
I do want to say, since Aaron was talking about the cigar, I've seen guys turn around, and I've said this before, between 4x66 or 4x60 nubs. As you all know, I'm a nub girl. And they sit there and say, well, from start to finish, I've done it in 32 minutes to 37 minutes. It takes me almost 2 hours.
Now, I will say one thing I do not like about this cigar is it's kind of burning my lips. It's not that it's particularly hot, but it feels like it feels like I cut my lip somewhere. It's kind of obnoxious, and I think that's more the wrapper than anything else. Maybe high nicotine content in the wrapper, but regardless, it's kind of giving me that feeling. For a diesel, this is not as good as the other diesels we've smoked.
Heck, I was thinking of buying a box of the uncuts this coming month.
Now, what I would end up saying, though, is that my review of this, I'm going to go ahead and for $7, I'm going to only rate this about a 7, but for on the price point. But along with other cigars, I think I'm going to stick also with a 7. Roughly, it's a nice, tasty cigar, but that kind of cut feeling on my lips really just kind of does it for me. I mean, I don't like the numbness feeling and the kind of like I want to lick my lips, and it's one of those cigars that it's just not appealing that way. Maybe there's some of you out there who like burned lip feeling, but I don't. So yeah, but for the money, because of the unique flavors, I'm still going to go with the 7, even though I say 7 overall. It just stays in line with each other, and rarely does that happen for me. Usually the price point's lower and the other, overall is higher. But with this, it's interesting that it stays consistent.
I'm going to have to give this a 7 as well, just because the price point. The flavors are consistent from start to finish. It is a full-bodied cigar. I will say, I think, again, with this cigar in general, I'm pondering doing one more cigar review tonight, but I'm thinking, because I'm getting a nicotine buzz, and I might need to have a glass of soda after this, you might want a full stomach for this one too, because it is a full-bodied cigar.
It's definitely good after a meal. And we did have lunch just before this, but it was only a bowl of soup. But I didn't feel like I needed any more than a bowl of soup. So this kind of works, you know, even with that. It has dragged on long enough. I wish the meal was slightly bigger. But yeah, an hour and a half out of this smoke with an almost perfect burn on it is another reason I gave it a 7 instead of lower. The lip burning would have actually gone for like a 4 or something, but because of the even burn, the length of the burn, I got to give it the 7 because it is a decent smoke.
Oh, definitely a decent smoke for the price. I'm just happy that I got a deal from Cigar.com. Instead of paying $110 with Cigar International, I paid $100 for the same bundle. And in my opinion, these have been very good cigars so far. I think, in my opinion,
I need my first fix. That even though some people I've watched, I saw a review where a guy had a canoe like that long, and he was still burning it. Still a decent review, but I wouldn't allow mine to get that bad. I like to try to keep it sharp. And now my lighter doesn't want to light.
Here.
No, I'll get it.
Here.
Okay. I'm still breaking that lighter in. It's the same type that we always use, but which is from Eagle. But I think even with this green one we're using now, at the beginning we had to light it with another lighter because it didn't want to light, and then it started working on its own. So, you know. But there, I fixed my little burn. I think it was also beginning to tunnel just a little bit. But a lot of the cigars I have start to tunnel at the very end because I just don't focus on them as much. You know. Anyways.
Please add and subscribe if you like. Please post comments, leave feedback, suggestions. Please leave comments in the box. And don't know what else to say. Cigar Dog did not want us to take our
and we shouldn't do that
DSRs.
every video.
So I will think of a slogan, and I think I'm going to say, put that in your pipe and smoke it.
And one last thing before we go here, if we do another cigar, it is going to be the H. Upmann Habana Cuba Corona Minor. So
there you have it. Please add and subscribe, post comments, leave feedback, suggestions. Thank you. And put that in your pipe and smoke it.